Hello again. So today our plants finally came, and these are from Mountain Crest Gardens. And I ordered them, I think, on Friday or Saturday, and it took them a while to get here. Today's Thursday. It seems like they sat around in Sacramento for 3 days. I was tracking it. I see a lot of dirt has come through. I've been tracking them. I don't know why they sat there for so long, but hopefully they're okay. The box looks okay. There's actually two boxes. And so today's project is going to be, finishing our fairy garden. Okay, so we got two separate ones, and I'm going to make a mess because there's dirt everywhere. Let's see how these came out. And they should be fine because they're all sempervivums. Oh, careful. They're all sempervivum, which are pretty tough. And, even if they get dirty, none of them are sticky, really, so you don't have to worry about dirt and stuff sticking all over them. I have everything in here, so I should have reorganized a little bit better in here, but I did not. So, and then the cat got up and chewed the tag off of that plant bag there. Hey, stop it. She's just wild this morning. Okay, so she's attacking my feet. Midnight. So this is what we got. So they're potted up, and I'll probably rinse them. It just pulled right out of the pot. Yeah, they're all potted up. Yeah, I'll have to brush this one off. But I love sempervivum. So I got two, so there are 4, 8, 12, 6. Okay, so there's 20. So I got two boxes of 20 so that it'll be exactly like this, but twice as many. And you can see there's a lot of different kinds. I didn't pick them out. I just ordered the box set, whatever. And they look really good. These look really good. Let's check out this one. We'll see how these ones look, which I'm sure they'll be fine. Now, I've ordered from these guys from Mountain Crest Gardens, I think 3 or 4 times already. And I've always gotten really good plants. I've never had a problem. They're usually really fast because they're not far from here. They're only a couple hours north of me. 3-4 hours maybe. So normally these come a lot faster. I was really surprised at how long it took. But like I said, and it wasn't their fault. They came to the Sacramento Distribution Center at like 1:30 a.m. And then the next day, I didn't even get any kind of notifications. I kept checking so you get a little card with a discount on it. Some care tips. My shipping order. Then the next day I didn't get any notifications. And then the following day, it had gone from Sacramento Distribution Center to the Sacramento Post Office, which is not the one we use. We use Wilton. And then it went from there, back to Sacramento Distribution Center. It said something else on it. I forget what it said. And then back again to Sacramento Post Office. And then out here to, what did it say? It said something this morning. I got one this morning. It said it would be here by 9 p.m. It's early now. It's only 9 o'clock right now, 9 a.m. And this probably got here an hour ago. So I don't know why for 3 days it was bouncing around in Sacramento, but this one kind of fell apart in here. It has a pup on it. This is really loose. Yeah, it's like peat moss that it's packed in, that they're grown in. And it was really dry, so all of that peat moss is just everywhere. But that's fine, because I'm going to take them out of that anyway. And I will just rinse them off. But they look really good. See those? Aren't they beautiful? I love Sempervivum because you get that pretty rosette. And when you put them out in the sun, they get, a lot of them really color up. You get reds and yellows, golds. And then you have these kind of, well, you can see this one here, the spiderweb sort of looking. See how it kind of looks like it's got little spider webs all over it. You can really see it on this one down in here. And they call these hens and chicks because they just produce all these little offsets. And I love them. So I am going to go and bring the bowls back in here because I'm going to use all Sempervivums in that fairy garden. And I'm going to bring the bowls back in here. I did set them out on the table to see how much room I had. And what I need to do, oh, and look at, if you were following my earlier videos, I did find this is a little alcohol bottle that I was looking for. And I'm like, where did I find? Oh, I found it in the office on my desk, not next to any of the plants. So it didn't occur to me looking there. This is Sarracenia. Most of these are the early spring pitchers, so I'm going to cut a lot of this back. But I want this bowl. This is the third bowl, and it's pretty deep. It's very heavy. But I'm going to pot all those up in separate little pots. It is sending up some new pitchers. And this is a carnivorous plant, so insects get down into these pitchers. And this is the flower. The flowers come up first, and I just never cut them off this year. But that's what it comes up on this long stalk. And then once the insects and stuff have a chance to pollinate those flowers, then the traps come up. And that way, bees and butterflies, things like that, aren't attracted to the pitchers. They've already gone. The scent is gone. These pitchers dry up. And then this just catches flies. And you see how dark it is down in there? It's full of bugs. Flies, yellow jackets get trapped in there a lot, and I love it. Look at little Midnight. She's tearing up the stuffing from her little bed. She didn't tear up the bed, it's just old. But yeah, so I'm going to, and I got some fly traps I need to put outside too that I repotted that are looking really rough because they've been sitting in here for 2 weeks and they should be in the full sun all the time. So we're going to have, this is crazy. Our weather's been showing that we're going to get back down into the upper 80s. And now all of a sudden, we've got about 6 or 7 days right at 100. One day, I think it was 102. But most days it was 99, 100, 100, 100, 99. And we're typically about 2 degrees less than what that shows. But it's going to be hot. And I'm supposed to go camping on Monday. I got a reservation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, come home Thursday from Rancho Seco. But I'm taking the trailer, the horse trailer, so I'll have my air conditioning and I'll have a shower and, because it has a living quarters in front. So I'll be camping in style, but I'm going to take my kayak out to the lake. And it was supposed to be in the upper 80s. Now it's going to be 100 every day. So I'm not sure if Katie's going to come up because she'll be camping in her car. I don't know if she's going to want to come up for that because it wasn't originally forecast to be that hot. And you know what I just noticed? So I'm looking at these little plants sitting here. Let me see if I can pull this out without getting poked. So this little cactus is a mammillaria. And right now, look at all the little flower buds it's getting. It's got like 4 on this side, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming in. Focus. Come here. There we go. Now you're bright. Turn down the exposure. Yeah, you can see those. So it's going to have really cute little white and yellow flowers. So I just was looking at that and just noticed that. I'm actually looking at this one here. Has just sent up a ton of buds too. So this tray right there, might as well just turn this around here, huh? Get that out of the way. Zoom in a little bit here. So this tray has been sitting here since I watered. I brought all these in here and I really soaked them good because I hadn't watered in a while. And they are all saying thank you with, look at all the little flower buds on here starting. Okay, this has got a lot of new little offsets over on this side. You can see the green, but then look at all the buds that are forming. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got tiny little ones on this side. Where are you? Little tiny ones there. But this is a Sulca. So there's another one right down under here, hiding. It's a cute little plant. These have been in the house in the windowsill. I never did put these ones outside because last batch I got of these, and this isn't all, this is just part of them. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And then I think there's still 2 more sitting on the kitchen counter. I'm looking at this one. This one's kind of interesting, but look at this little guy. Where's your tag? The cat steals the tags out of these, but look at all the growth it's got. Has a new little tiny pup in there, but it was just a little bundle when I started it. So yeah, I need to put these back, and you can see down in here. See those little red? Those are the cactus fruits that I pulled off of one of these when I brought them out and watered them because they've been sitting there for a long time. This one back here has got a little tiny new pup starting there. These are so cute. And then that one there, I think is dead. It looks like there's still some growth in this pup, but the main plant is dead, so I'll probably just toss that whole thing. That was a Rubutia. I didn't water in quite a while, and everything was pretty stressed. And look at this one. I don't know if that's just not, if this is just not getting enough sunlight, why those are long, or is that what it's supposed to look like? Should it be fatter? I mean, it's in a bright window where it gets probably 6 hours of sun every day until the sun's, you know, higher above the house. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way. There's no point in putting these out now because we're going to be going into fall, and then I'd be bringing them in anyway. But I try to figure out a way to have a place where I could keep them all year where they get sun, but don't get too much hot direct sun in the afternoon because that will fry them. Most of them are pretty tender. And they do like a little protection in the afternoon. But you know what? The thing is, though, they flower like crazy, which tells me they are getting enough sunshine. So I don't know. I just don't know. But I do need to get them out of here. So anyway, I'm babbling. I'm going to put these away. Hey, get off my foot, you little freak. I'm going to go put these away and then bring those bowls in, and then we'll get the fairy garden put together. So I'll bring you back. So if anybody's interested, one, yes, I did make a big mess doing this. And two, I kind of let this dry out a little bit so it'd be easier. But look at the roots all the way through. So these were totally ready to be repotted. And now I have my pot empty and we'll get started. Alrighty. Hopefully, let me see if I can fix the exposure. It's kind of hard in here. It's bright outside. It is now about 9:45. Get off. Cat, what are you doing? Get down. Oh my gosh, this cat. Get down. I have my trusty water bottle in case I need to squirt her. That's the best training tool for a cat. She's trying to chew into the bag of soil that's sitting on the chair behind her. Okay, so first thing I need to do is figure out what did I do with the little, so my little wagon that I bought has a broken, what do you call it, handle? And it came out of the package that way. I was not happy. Should have looked at it closer, you know, when I bought it. What did I just do with the little piece? Alrighty. So I glued the handle back on with just this. And so it's going to have to sit there for a while. And then I'll have to be really careful with it. I have it propped up on its end So hopefully that'll work. Okay, so for now I can get started. For now, what I want to do is figure out how I'm going to organize stuff. I think instead of using that wooden box that I was going to use under here, I think I'm just going to put this brick, because I can tuck that brick all the way up under it so it won't take up any extra space. I might still be able to leave the fountain on the table, and that way all three of these bowls will fit. And I did decide to put the heaviest one on top because these two were closer in size level-wise. Actually, you know what? It doesn't really even matter now because I think I'm only going to set it on one side and leave this one over here, and then maybe I can put a pot here with a tall, a taller plant. So, and I did bring, my sumps are over here. I just took them all out of the box. And then these are the cuttings that I took. There's like 6 more that are even smaller. These are the Echeveria Sahara pups that were growing around the mama plant that was out in the cart, and I posted that video. Somebody was asking why I removed it. She said I didn't think you needed to take it out or something like that. But the mama plant, which wasn't much bigger than this at the time. I mean, it had shrunk and so many leaves were gone. It was so small. But she actually bloomed out. And these were all the pups I cut off the stalk. Now, down inside the stalk, hidden, were all these new little pups growing out. So I didn't get rid of the stalk. I put it in the bowl. It's over in the garden to death. And we'll see if we can grow those little pups out. And it's awfully quiet in here, which makes me worry. Where'd that cat go? She's into mischief. And I had to go get myself a Dr. Pepper because I am super thirsty. Ah, I love it. I know you're not supposed to drink soda. But you know what? Sometimes mostly I drink water. I don't drink much soda. I drink water, I drink coffee. But sometimes you need something with flavor in it. What am I looking for? Oh, okay, so I'm going to fill all of my bowls, and I'm going to make a mess with some cactus and succulent soil. And I've already got a little piece of screen in each one. I need to roll the... I have a couple more plants outside that I want to redo. So I might have to take a run out to Green Acres. Poor little me, huh? I love going to Green Acres. Even if I'm not there to buy anything, but just kind of want to hang out. Okay, so let me push this down. And then the first thing you got to do is figure out, make sure that's good and stable, figure out what we want our village to look like. So I'm thinking I want to put the house, the door to his house, to their house, the fairy door, on the bottom level. Because, really, if you think about it, who wants to walk up and down the stairs every time you want to go to bed? So here is my little door. Isn't that cute? And I'm thinking back like over on this corner so that, maybe there's a little force field or a doorway to another plane or dimension or whatever that you can't see, but when he opens his door and goes through, maybe that's what's there. This is going to be up against the wall side, and that's going to be on the inside, so I'll have room for a pot over there. Now I have this little arbor thing. So if I put that there, maybe pull it forward a little bit more. I need to prop it. It's kind of tip it forward a little bit. This is actually pretty heavy. I was kind of surprised at how heavy that was. But if I put some plants around it to hold it up. He's gonna want to come out. He's going to want a little pathway, right, in front so that he doesn't get his feet muddy when he goes in and out. So maybe we'll have a little pathway like here. And do we want to have his chair down here where he sits out here and surveys things? So we're going to need a bridge. This one's flat. Okay, so he's going to need a bridge to get from one side to the other, right? So we're going to need that. And I can pull that away a little bit too if I want to. So there's room there. So he'll definitely need a bridge there. I'm thinking about putting the bunny slide. So this is the bunny slide. I'm thinking about putting that up on the top. And then the ladder attaches. That's weird. It should attach. Does it go? Oh, it goes like this. Okay. So the ladder goes here. And then it has another little bunny. Can you see up on the top there? So when this one goes in, why is he not sliding? The other day, man, I couldn't even get him to stay there. He would just slide all the way down. But anyway, so he slid all the way down. So maybe we'll put that one down there. So the bunny slide, they can have a little playground at the top. I do want to have the little well. This is more of a... So this well actually has a pump. How cute is that? You know, maybe the pathway will lead to his little water thing where he walks out in the morning and gets some water and then goes back. I have a bird bath that goes, I think, up on top. Isn't that cute? Maybe I'll put that up here. So I have little fences. Okay, so this is a little bunny garden. And we got some food down here. I was thinking I wanted to make this little wooden bench. I wanted to put the bench in here and then sort of dig it out. So if you're sitting on the bench, you know, your feet will go on the ground. So maybe make that a little bit deeper over here. I don't know, is that too ratty looking? I just thought it was a perfect little... I would love to have a giant log like that because it's kind of rounded on the edge. You can sit on the edge and it's nice and flat. Where are we going to put their garden? You'd want the garden up on top where it's going to get the most sun, right? Because your vegetables... And it seems like this is where the rabbits are anyway. But I do... So I have a little fence. So we could... And I can cut this too and make it shorter if I want. So here's a little fence. You can make it whatever shape. I could make the little garden to where you can't, you know, so the rabbits can't get in it. Fence it off. Or, whoa, should we fence off the outside to keep little critters out? Maybe the fence goes around the outside of the bowl. Actually, I like that better. And then our little garden can go inside. I'm not going to use that. I don't like that. And then I have 2 stone walls that, and it's kind of cool because they've just got a little bendy thing so that they don't fall over. You just pull those out. And I tell you what, some of the stuff, this one doesn't have it. Are they broken? These ones are broken off. I should have checked. I did not check. That is my fault. So, except that I'd rather have it go this way, but that's the top of the wall. But I guess I can just set it like that. So they have a little wall around here, and where'd the other one go? And then maybe up here, where can I put this one? Where would you have another wall? So I do have a little sign that tells you, okay, Daisy Trail, Troll Bridge, Fairy Village. Well, these signs aren't going to be pointing in the right direction, but I've got this little sign that maybe I'll stick back here. I didn't push the soil down very much, you know, didn't pack it down. And this soil's pretty dry. Oh, and one thing I noticed, I'm going to have to put something in there to hold that up. One thing I noticed was that all right, am I losing my marbles? Oh, okay, it was that one. I'm like, I could swear I just looked at this wall and it didn't have any things to poke in it. I don't know where I'm going to put this one yet. Maybe if I put it here, and then back in here will be some plants. And I did make this ladder, but it's too much, you know, because I thought I could put it so that they can get up and down over here. That wall won't go there. You know, I still kind of want to use this. If I put it there, so they can get from the top to the bottom, right? So they can come out, go over his bridge, go up the ladder, play around up here if he wants to. Maybe the top garden should just be plants. And look how I couldn't decide on which little I have another dragon. It looks just like this, but it sticks in the ground just like that and has a butterfly on his nose. But then I got this one because I just thought it was cute with this squirrel holding his mouth open. So maybe he's going to be up here playing with the bunnies. And I don't know, maybe this should go up here and this should come down here to attract birds down into this area. And should the chair be up here so he can watch the rabbits play? Or should it be down in here where he sits and he can look at his little vegetable garden? Is that all the stuff I got? I think that's everything. So maybe this wall can block off some little plants back there. Where's this guy gonna go? He can sit on the bridge, like he's crossing the bridge. Do I want to use this arbor up here and then put a big plant behind it with little birds on it? I kind of want to get some little stones to put around in here. I was just going to go find some flat ones out in the yard. I don't need this bridge. Unfortunately, these were like $15 a piece. But I don't really need this one. This would be more of, it would need to be flat, but I don't really have a spot for that. And okay, so I'll probably redo this bridge, and I can always just set it back there. I like these side sticks, how they curve. I had to hunt around to find two that matched. But I thought if I use a heavy string, it kind of looks like it would be a rope. But I think it's too much. It's too heavy. Can you even see everything I'm doing there? Okay, turn this a little more low. I'm going to take this out of there for now. So I'm going to start adding some plants. And I was thinking about putting a little pool in there, but I think it's too big. But I'm going to go get some flat stones first, because I do want to kind of make maybe a little stone pathway through here or up there. So I'll be right back. Okay, one thing I did want to do that I forgot to mention is I was going to use this crest that I got. It was in my whale. If I can keep this exposure, for it gets so bright. It was in my whale. I accidentally broke this piece off. I can't believe I did that. Look at that. But that's all right. I'm still going to use it. And you can see it was starting to really root really well, so I did have to pull it out, unfortunately. But I want it to go in the top. This is the deepest bowl. And so I think I should be able to get it. But I want it right in the back. And I want it as deep down as I can get it. And before I had rocks holding it up. Which I don't need now, but I am going to put them back just to give it some support while it kind of re-roots itself. And that way that'll kind of hold it up a little bit. Do we want it growing behind our little arbor here? Or do we just want to do what we were originally going to do? I don't think, I kind of want to mound it up a little bit. I don't think it's going to fall over. And you know what I can do for fun is we can plant these around the outside of it. Farther back. We can just tuck these little guys right in there. Just to give it a little bit of substance here. See if those will grow. I mean, they'll grow. Oh, here, I'm like, I had a bigger one. Whoa. Yeah, we want the bigger one right back in there. Stuff the dirt up under it. And that will help keep that rock from moving. Line these little guys here. Push some dirt up. So that will not go anywhere. Okay. And then here, so now we have our nice tree. Push her back a little bit more. See, it's kind of front heavy. I don't have any more heavy rocks really. We can lower this soil because the sempervivums, they don't need, I'll knock most of the soil off. And you know what? I keep saying peat moss with these today. It's not peat moss that they're in, it's coco coir, which is basically coconut fiber. So then we can put the swing or the slide right here. All right. And then we can, I mean, I can fill this area in with, what do we want? We kind of want some flat ones. I need something to knock the soil off into. Okay, we got a bowl that we use to feed the pigs out of. So I can set it, where can I set it? I can set it on the chair. All right, I'll have to do this off camera because I don't have any more room that I can actually reach. So I'll knock most of this cocoa fiber off of here so I don't have to dig a huge big hole. And I kind of want to, do I want to make a little circle like around here? You're going to stay in the middle. I need quite a few of these. Now, mind you, I've never made a fairy garden before. I've seen people do them in videos. What I should have done was watched a few videos and gotten some ideas, but you know, if I don't like how it looks, I can always just change it. I always need stuff to do. Where'd my scoop go? Oh, way back here. Some more soil in here. It's getting a little too low. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I can always just change it if I don't like how it looks. It'll be really easy, especially with the type of plants I put in here. It'll be really easy just to pull it apart. And I could even take all of the roots off of these semps, and because they're going to be coming into their really busy growing season. Okay, wait a minute. So I think my ladder's going to come. Okay, so I'm going to need to come over here and start tucking a few in over on this side. It really amazes me how fast these little guys root up, especially when I had them in the house. under a grow light. Oh, I haven't even been cleaning these off. Well, those ones weren't bad. They really take off and grow really quickly from having no roots. These are so dry, but I will probably hit them with water in a day or so, and I'll keep this covered because, like I said, we are going to get. Oops, this one is just falling apart here. All these little pups are just falling off. We are going to get some really hot weather coming up, so I will definitely need to keep a shade screen over these until they're acclimated, and then they like the sun. You know, when it's not too harsh, I should say. Okay, I need my brush to clean off this big one because you can see how dirty that one is. And it is in here, I think, yeah. I got little tiny bits of probably cocoa coir in my fingers, and it feels like cactus thorns, like little glow kids are in there. This one's really not being cooperative. I'm gonna take this one and rinse it real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, a couple of these I'll probably have to rinse off, but that looks much better compared to it looked like it was all full of dirt like this one, and now it's all nice and bright and clean. All right, so I'm gonna put this one here. So what I want to do is get some, tuck you in there, some little flat stones, and make a little walkway here. So I'm thinking, whoops, tuck you back in there. I'm thinking it should come from like here. And these aren't all flat, but I can find a flat side and then just, you know, some of them are kind of triangle shaped. But if it has a flat side, you just push it down and it'll still work. But these are pretty. This was the large jade pebbles that I got for planting or for top dressing. And you know, I always reuse them. So I have a little walkway. So when the ladder comes off right here, they got a little stone pathway to walk on. We don't want them to land on that when they come down the slide, so maybe we'll turn that a little bit. Okay, so that's good for up there. Now we want to fill in with plants, right? We need kind of a small one here. Dump this off. God, these are so dry. So I don't know. Maybe they just, oh, this has some tiny little pops on the side. Maybe they just watered them and they dried out in transit. Or maybe they, you know, hadn't watered them in a while, and so they just are just dry. So we're gonna put that one up there. I'm gonna put one of the, oh, we got can't talk. We already got one of those. We already have one of those. Okay, this one's pretty. Here's a more of a darker purple. And then I can get in here and clean up any dead leaves that are on the bottom also. Okay, purple one back here. It's so nice. You just barely dig a little impression, set them in, and then I will really soak this good. That one's pretty. Way back here. Look at the color on that one. Isn't that pretty? I'll soak it really good in a couple of days, and they will love that. And this does get in the shade fairly early. Yeah. Here's another one like that first, like that one. How about this little double one? Ooh, this one's really root bound. I'm gonna have to take off most of these roots to get the soil out from under it. But that's okay. Yeah, if you want a plant to go outside that's going to be super hardy in the wintertime, this looks like it was a little plug. Get out of my dirt. You get. Sempervivums are just, they're awesome. I love them. They grow super fast. You know, they root up really quickly. They're hardy in the wintertime, down to where, you know, they can be sitting in the snow and they still don't die. Cat is creeping. She's creeping around. Hey. Okay, so how big is this? So this is going to go there. Well, we wanted it kind of like that, right? So we'll probably put a couple more over on this side. Here's a small one. Yeah, most of these, I rub a little bit on the bottom here and then just shake it and all the cocoa cord just falls off. So I'm going to put this little one right here, kind of up. I love sempervivums. I love to have them all stuffed together in a bowl. This one's really dirty. If you saw what I just did to myself doing that. But you know what? It's worth it. It saved me a trip to the kitchen to rinse it. And now look, that looks like an artificial plant. That doesn't even look real. That's what cracks me up. Yeah, that dirt blew right back. It went right down the front of my shirt. Because I'm wearing one of my little ratty shirts. Because I don't care if I get them dirty. So I don't know if you can hear that ripping around under here. Okay, so your ladder's going to go there. I think it goes right there. It goes. Okay. I thought these pieces were sold separately. And the one, get off the table. The one, that piece was $19, and I figured this would be like $6 or $7. So I was just going to get the little rabbit and hang it off the edge of something. And then when I was cashing out, she's like, "Oh, but you're missing a piece. You need to have, you know, the slide with it. It comes with a slide," because they were packaged separately, which I thought was interesting. But I'm like, "Oh, okay." I said, "I thought they were." I'm going to stick this little one here. And I think it'll just, I don't think I'll have to do anything. It'll stand up. And look at this pretty little clumpy one. There's one main one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 full pups around the outside. Cute. Yeah, so instead of just, you know, putting it back because it was so expensive, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'll go grab the slide. And actually, Dave was with me. He went and grabbed it. And luckily, there wasn't hardly anybody there when we went shopping for all this stuff. So sometimes you get there and there's big, long lines. But they're great. Even when it's really busy, they have every register open. And they're quick. So here is going to go, this little guy's got a lot of roots. So I want to tuck them all in. And then bury all of that. Tuck that back. Clean off my little path. And I think put that one down at the bottom. That rabbit. That will go back in there. Get back there. And I've got a few little pieces that broke off that I can tuck in these little holes. And I'm not worried about little gaps showing. This cat is crazy. Okay, so we got a little pathway there. Doesn't look great, but you know, it is what it is. It'll be cute when it's done. Okay, so here, let's back you up. Let's work on this one. So now, I am going to change this ladder, but for right now, it's going to come out of here. I'll have to turn it a little bit, because I want it to come out right where the little walkway is. But it is too big, because I don't want the ladder taking up the whole bowl. So I will have to make a different ladder. And they didn't have one there. They didn't have a ladder. Just a plain ladder, unfortunately. But I'll figure that out later. Maybe I'll make another one tonight while I'm sitting around not doing anything. And this fell over again. So I was going to I could plant some stuff like that and then leave their door open so they get fresh air. I have something, this soil sometimes has little, bits of stuff that sticks in your fingers and pokes, and that's what I got going on right now. Oh, I was going to put something else in there. Well, okay, so for now, we have our tree with all our little plants and a little shrub, a walkway, and the bunnies can play up there. So maybe I'll concentrate, because I forgot and I didn't put anything else. I could pull that out and stick the little well right there. I wonder if this holds water. It looks like it does. It looks like it's sealed. No. Maybe I'll put that one there. This one at the end of the walkway. So when he comes out, he walks down his little path. But I need to put... Oh, you know what? I got a couple of rocks here. I can brace up his door with some boulders. I got all these that I brought in that were just sitting. Oh, this one's kind of cool. Look at that one. What are we working at? Nothing? Okay. Where are we? I like this one. It's kind of a pillar. So maybe I'll keep this one and stand it up somewhere. Yeah, but I think I'll put these ones back here, and this will keep their little door from falling over. So I was thinking to plant a few plants behind the wall here. So let's do that. We want some that are kind of tall-ish. I'm going to put this one there, but I got to take it in the kitchen and rinse it because this one's really dirty. So this one's interesting. It's got two that are like grown right up against each other. So they've probably been in these little 2-inch pots for a long time. Let's clean those out a little bit. And, so they're just really... really squished. I'm going to squirt you with the hose. We're working on this one, right? Let's zoom in over there. There. Hopefully you can see all that. It's hard to see. My camera's like way over to my left and I can't see the screen. So I'm thinking, yeah, I want to build a little wall of plants back here. Move that, but they need to be right up against the edge. Okay, it wasn't enough to take it and rinse it, but it's hard to blow everything off of it and still not get a face full of dirt. So this one actually feels kind of damp still, which is good. I will say they are all nice and healthy and plump. Yeah, look at the big long roots on this one. Can you see that? Right here. Yeah, they look all nice and healthy. They look really good. This kind of actually even up on the edge a little bit. I think they can come up here. Tuck the soil up under them. I need a small one. What is that cat doing over there? I hear it's making all kinds of racket. I really should be doing outside projects today because it's going to get hot. Because I do have a couple more things I want to do outside. I won't put it in this video, but I will put it in another video. So I need to repot Well, I took the tree out of my whale planter. God, I can't believe I broke that. I'm so mad. Dumb Cindy. Do I have it backwards in there? I do. I need to turn it around. I just realized I have it backwards. Okay, I'm going to turn this around real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so I turned it around because it's more full coming this way. Now, it looked better when it had that other branch, when it had this branch here that filled out that side, but it had all this new stuff coming in, especially this little one here. But there are a little couple of pups there, and I think I just knocked one off that are growing on the branches in there too. So hopefully it'll send off some new shoots on this other side. Okay, I was just sitting there looking at it going, wait a minute, that one's backwards. So I'm over, I want to do down here. I can't see my screen because I have it, you know, this way. There we go. Zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, we're working here. Yeah, I just looked up and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. And of course then I knocked, oops, I forgot one of these to go back in here. Oh, let me stick it down in there. Let it grow right there. I'll fix all that. I'll have to straighten everything. You know, once I carry them outside, I'm sure a lot of this stuff's going to be falling over and whatever, but I can always fix it later. So this, did I have it this way or this way? Is it the same? It's the same each way. Okay, so we're going to put this right here so they have a little walkway. And then should we put something besides sempervivums right here? Should I put like, I don't know, what do I have that grows flat? Or some little tiny, you know, stand up. Yeah, why don't we put this right on the end? That's cute. I can put one more little sempervivum right here. I got another little small one. I'll just set it. Set it right there. Raise it up a little. You need to be a little bit higher. There you go, you too. Look at that. Get a little more dirt under there. Raise these guys up. They need to be up. There we go. Don't fall over. Okay. This is so heavy. Okay. Now that one, I don't know where I'm going to put that one. And this. So did I have this turned this way, huh? I had it turned like that. So he's going to walk out here and hold those up. I don't really want to put any plants behind there unless they're tall because they're not going to get any light. So I want to make sure. Cute. Okay. So over here, again, do I want, okay, this, I didn't want to put the little fountain right here on the end. So when he walks out, he doesn't have to get his feet muddy. And then he's got his little bridge. This can be just his little pet right here, right? He can just be sitting in there. Maybe just fill this in with plants then. I'm looking at the stuff I have in here, if I have anything that can go in here. I do have a cute little, it's an agave, I forget what it's called. It's a little teeny tiny butterfly agave, but I'll have to bring it in the wintertime. You know what, I don't want to do that. The only thing I want to do is if I have to move this is when it rains, I'll have to probably cover or move this because the rain pours right to where this one's going to be sitting. So I don't want to do that. Okay, what do I have over there? I have nothing on the table right there that I can put in here. No, I'd have to go outside and get some stuff. So You know, it would be really cute would be an African violet in here, but it's way too hot outside. See, I wish they made this way so I could curve it up against the... I guess if I'd have to put it on this side. No, because then the ladder's going to hide it. I could put a little retaining wall up here to keep them from falling out into the, you know, into the thing below. Get in there. What if I stuck it up under here? No, these guys are like, quit pushing us. We're already settled. So is the rabbit. But he's crooked. Is this whole thing crooked or just this leg is too high? I may not use that other wall. I do like the fence here on this side. I think it's cute. Where do we want to put the garden? Well, if we put a little flower bed right here, he can easily pick them and easily water them, right? And then we can move that bridge a little bit. I think the chair should go on this side so he can sit here and watch the birds land on the wishing well. All right, so I'm going to fill this with plants. And I think what I'll do is I should just be able to leave the plugs in here. And that'll raise, not plugs, but, you know, the soil up under there. Hopefully some of these will get enough sun. And if I notice that they're all turning green and losing their color, you know, I might just have to move them. But I could put another, you know, something out there somewhere where I can set this up on, or I can simply put it on the ground. The only problem with that is the dogs thinking that these little things are chew toys and picking them out of there, because they do that kind of thing when I have stuff out there that's small. I had this little, I mean, I still have him, but I have him up off the ground. I have this little, he came from Hawaii. He was one of those little tiki gods, you know, that looks really evil and horrible, but he's not. And he's about that tall, and he stands in the garden to look over things. And my German Shepherd Moose, who I used to have, used to get in there, not knock anything over. I don't know how he did it, because he weighed over 100 pounds. He was a huge, big shepherd. But he would get in there on a regular basis and take my little guy out and run around with him. And he dropped him a couple of times. I had to keep crazy gluing him back together because he would break, because he was made out of like a hard resin. But if you drop him just right, oh, I used to get so mad. I'd go walking by and I'd look down there and he'd be gone. And you know, and I'd run, and I know it was Moose because I caught him doing it one time. Because I would have thought, you know, that's probably the dachshunds. No, it was Moose. And so finally I just started having to put it up. And then, you know, after he was gone, then I started putting it back down into the garden again. But now it's up in the fountain where the cactus, those little cactus are. Actually right next to where this is going to go. But, okay, so we can't have these laying right on the walkway, right? Because somebody will trip over them. So can we get them off to the side? These have really long tendrils. I can just kind of move them. This one needs to go this way. So does that one. There we go. Now I keep them off their little walkway, because you don't want to block the path. So I'm thinking maybe a couple little stones in here, a couple little boulders. All these stones I've collected from places. I'll go on a hike and I'll be walking around and I'll just see a really cool looking rock and I'll take it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I don't think anybody's going to miss one little tiny stone. Okay, so that will go on there. maybe move this over a little farther. We can make a little pathway to the ladder out of some stones. Try to get them flat and bend them around this way. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. They are cute though. You know what I really like to see when people take in their yards and they put these little doors at the base of trees so it looks like it actually goes into the tree. But I don't have a tree that I could really do that with. A big long one, this one there. Because most of we don't, you know, shore up the bottom of the trees. We just let them grow and cover everything. And you wouldn't be able to see anything under there. This one's not really, it doesn't really have a flat side. Well, that's all right. As long as you're careful when you step on it and don't twist your ankle, it should be okay. I was trying to come up with as much stuff here to do this as I could without having to buy things, but you know, I only had so much stuff that I could pilfer from other areas. Oh, this one's really shiny. There's a big one. I need a little tiny one. Do I have a little one? One little one there. Not very flat. There, now we got a little walkway over to there. Some of these are more round than flat, but that's okay. I think I want to put another big one right out in here. Maybe another little. I still have quite a few left, so I can do another pathway. Maybe if the chair is over here, we want a little patio. How about a little patio right in here? That's a cool rock. And then this one kind of looked like a bone. I picked that up, I don't know where, somewhere. But it's a rock. It almost looks like a fossilized tooth, like a horse or an animal. That would be the root part, and that would be the flat part. And then they have ridges. That's what that looks like. And actually, my 5-year-old just had a tooth pulled. One of her baby teeth was just coming in, and it should pull that one forward. It was being pushed out by the adult tooth that was growing in under it. So the vet just went ahead and pulled it. And then she's got the one on the opposite side that's also, she said, will probably be in about 6 months, but it was still pretty tight, so she didn't pull it out. All right, so what do I got left here? I still don't, nothing's coming to me where to put this little other piece of the wall. I'd like to use it, but I don't really have a place to use it. And then this too, what if I have this little arbor? What if I put this little arbor right there? Is that what you call those, arbors? I can move this up here. And then maybe put the chair this way. A little dragon there. And I'm thinking I could put a little wall. I could put that there. Put a couple small plants here in the front. Here's some pretty ones. Let me clean these up. Can you see this one that I'm looking at? Am I sitting here talking with this one? Nope, you can't even see this one. Ah. Okay, here's what I'm working on right now. All right, so that whole time I was doing the patio, you couldn't even see what I was doing, huh? I might just fast forward through that, but that's the little patio area I made. So that's the problem. I can't see my camera when I look up because it's, you know, facing down so you can see what I'm doing. But here, let me put a couple of plants right in here. I want them up high on the wall. I need a couple more of these flat little stones. I just don't have any more. This one, ooh, fan is blowing over here. I am making such a mess under the table. You can't see it, but trust me. Maybe one more here. Is that okay? Try. Oh, I already picked this one clean, huh? But then I didn't use it. Move this out of the way for a second. Get one more here. And like I said, I'm just barely kind of sitting them here in the soil. And they will root. I have 100% faith that they will root because I've done so many of, bought so many of their plants that, and they just all, I do them all the same way and they always just take off. There, how's that? That's cute. So I can't believe you couldn't even see what I was doing. I just was placing all these little flat stones to make kind of a patio. And then I had the chair over here, so I just moved the chair over here. And now I can put the arbor there. And this goofy little rock I stood up. Maybe I'll plant right there. I have a nice kind of a tall one. It's got some red in it. They have so much stuff now. I think if you go online, you can find a ton of, oops, I wanted the rock behind the plant, so I want the plant in the front. You can find a ton of this fairy garden stuff. There we go, little plant there. Maybe one behind the chair. Kind of a smallish one. So what I'll probably do while I was doing that patio, well, it'll already be done by the time you get to this part, but I'll probably just speed it up so you're not sitting there not being, because I get so frustrated when I'm watching a video and they're doing something and they're talking about it, but I can't see it. I can't see what they're doing. And I do that all the time because I can't see my camera. So I guess I should cut other people some slack because that's probably the same thing. They just can't see the camera. So I just want to make a little hole for it. Tuck the soil back. Actually drop some on there. Okay, I want to put this there. And then put the chair right back there. Even back it up a little bit more. There we go. And that's there. And then I could just put the little dragon right in here. How's that? Cute. This kind of seems out of place right there, but I don't really have, I mean, I guess I could put it here. A little vegetable garden down here. But then when I put my ladder, I could put the dragon over here. Playing with his little squirrel. I could put the, this does not want to stand up straight, but I want you to stand up straight. Why? Can I lean that on there? Why don't you want to stand up? Why? Oh, why? There we go. I forgot what I was saying. All right, I think I'm done. I think I'm all done with how I'm going to do this. I think that's enough plants. I like this. I like this tall. So here's how it looks from the front. Zoom out, it's a mess in here. Pay no attention. So I love the tall, that's the ghost, that crusted ghost. I'm so mad that I broke this piece off of it though. But hopefully it'll send out another shoot, and it can stay in here for a long time. Hopefully it'll do okay, because these do really well even in the winter. So I got my little rabbit slide, and they got a little walkway to where the ladder will come out. I'll have to figure something else out though for that. And then there's a little rabbit down inside. So then I did put those Echeveria Saharas in here. Those will get big. They'll grow and they'll get a nice color, but it'll probably take them a long time because they're all cuttings. I still have quite a few left. I can make a nice bowl somewhere. And then this one, so I kind of was trying to tuck the stuff out of the way a little of their walkway, which should come right off their front door here. And then end up down where they can hit their little well, get some water, follow the path, go across the bridge. Got a little patio here for them with a well. They can sit here and watch the rabbit eating their lettuce. The arbor's cute. And then when I get a ladder, they can go up here, play with the rabbits, or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to go put them outside. Well, I have one more thing to do, and then I'm going to go put them outside, and I'll show you how they look. Okay, so here's where I set it up. And I'm trying to keep my shadow out because the sun is, you know, like just right there. And if I lean too far forward. So imagine the fountain clean, because I haven't cleaned it in a while. And I have a whole bunch of plastic plants that I had left over from one of my animal enclosures. I had some scorpions. And so I have all these cool fake succulents and tropical plants that I can fill this in, flush out the water, put clean water in. These rocks are just to hold that little fountain. It's like a little, just a cheap little fountain. But see how the water's yellow? Should be clear. But I just get algae so fast. And there's a whole family of frogs that live in there, so I keep it full even when I'm not running it. The problem is if I leave it on, I have to fill it every single day because it only has a couple of inches. This whole thing is filled with heavy stones just to fill it, you know, so I have a place to set that little tray, which is only a dish about this deep. So the frogs love it. So I keep it full for them. Okay, so here we go. It's kind of bright. I know, I'm sorry about that. Let me try and turn the exposure down a little bit. I added some, not a lot, I didn't fill it in completely, but some jade pebbles just to fill in the dirt. So I have their little door, there's a sign. I have a brick wall on this side, and then I don't know, I don't really like the bird bath right there. Maybe we'll put it over here. Yeah, I like that better. And I did, now you can't really see my stones from my walkways. Actually, I can't put that there. See, that's why I can't even see the walkway. What if we put it here? And then we need to move the dragon. I don't know, maybe I'll use the dragon in somewhere else. I just don't have enough space. So you can see he's got their little door. He can come out the door, walk down his pathway, get some water if he wants. Got a little bird bath here for the birds to get in. And then there's one plant there, and then a few along here. And then this fit here. I've had to put my palm down there because it didn't fit behind here. And then that brick, I can probably put another little pot right there with something that will grow tall, and another one back there. So I just set one there. So here we have just a few in the front and our little fence, which I popped back up. They got a little patio there. I have a rock in the back, and then the little vegetable garden, which is cute. I have another wall, brick wall there, and then the well. So that they have their little bridge here. They can cross that, and I need to make a ladder. I don't know how I'm going to do that. You know, it would be cute if I just make a little rope ladder and just leave it hanging down. And then up here, we have our rabbit slide with one going up the ladder, one just came down the slide. I filled it in with some jade petals also, and then they have their big tree in the back, and you know, just a bunch of plants. So this is how I'm going to leave it for now. I am going to get a big piece of screen and put over it, because this, as you can see, the shade's already coming over here. It gets over here pretty early. Now I need to pay attention and see what time the shade hits this table. It hits that table last, I think, because it's back in that corner. But in the wintertime, it drips right there. It doesn't drip, it pours, and it'll hit that bowl. So I'll probably have to move this stuff in the winter. And it might be as easy as just sliding that table to the left. It won't look good because it'll be, you know, not symmetrical, not centered, not, you know, whatever the word is. It won't be in the right place. But I might be able to move it so the water doesn't hit it. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to imagine that with some plants, and I'll show you how it looks when I do it. It's really hot right now. It's like 80 degrees, but it feels like it's 110. It's supposed to be 95 today. It was originally only supposed to be 90, but they keep upping it. So it's really hot standing here, but I like it. I think it's cute. If you have any ideas or something I should change or add to it, let me know, because I've never made a fairy garden. And you know, I can change it or add things, take things away if there's too much in there. Maybe put some taller plants in the back. Maybe add a cactus, maybe a tall, like the Straussii, maybe something like that, but not quite that tall, up in the top in the back or down there. I don't know, but I think it's cute. I like it. I'm gonna leave it for now, and hopefully everything does okay. I know in another few weeks, once our temperatures start dropping, because it's the end of August, right? What is it? The 20, let me see. Today is August 28th. So it's almost September, and we do have another heat wave coming this week. It's supposed to be 100, like 6 days, 5 days, right around 100. So it's gonna be hot. So I'm gonna get a piece of screen shade. Maybe I'll just take this one, because this one's already starting to get in the shade. And then until I find another large piece. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. I do have a large piece. I remember seeing it just a little while ago. I was going to cut a piece off of it, but I didn't. So look at my Navajo Princess. Look at how much better that's doing. It's all firmed up, and she's got a new leaf coming out, so she's happy here. It'll be nice when I don't have to cover that anymore. So I need to find a place for that. But maybe I'll save this video and I won't finish it off until I dig some plants out. I know right where they're at. I have a whole box, and I want to fill that in with some plants so you can't see. You know, it'll look really cute. And then all I'm going to do is flush the water out until it starts running clean. I'm not going to take it down and clean it. I'm too lazy and it's too hot. So we're going to leave that here, and I will post that. I'll add the rest of that later. Hopefully I'll do that tonight. Yeah, so we'll check back in. Okay, so I added some plastic plants to it, and I know this looks a little rough. I just stuck them in here, but I figured the next time, all I did was flush the water out, so it was just a little bit cleaner, and I just kind of stuck these around the outside. But the next time I take it down and actually have to clean it and I scrub all the rocks, then I'll arrange the plants to make it look like they're actually growing in there. But for now, I figured at least it's got some green, and it's about 2 o'clock, actually 2:30. And you can see it's fully in the shade. And the shade actually comes all the way out to, whoa, let me get back. This whole half, all of this is in the shade now, and there's this corner still a little bit in the sun. So I think around 1 o'clock, that's probably in the shade. I did have a cover over it earlier, because I think it was around 11 or so when I finished, and I didn't want them to get fried. And I did... You know, I was going to wait, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to splash them with some water. So I did hit them with a little bit of water, just because it is so hot out here. But I think it looks really cute. And so now there's some greenery in that fountain, which, you know, it's just been a bucket forever. And once I get around to arranging the plants, you know, I'll just kind of make it look like they're growing out of there. But for now, all I did was just really stick them, you know, just stuck them down in the edge. But I had the sound, and I already had to fill it to the top. It was already down about probably almost an inch. So it's really hot out right here now for the fountain. It just evaporates so quickly. But I don't know, maybe with the plants around it, shading it a little, maybe it'll last a little longer. I doubt it, but anyway, so this is how it looks. It's finished. I'm going to leave it like this. And I kind of like it. I think it looks cute. You know, I'm no fairy expert. I didn't have a lot of stuff to work with, but I don't know, I think it's kind of cute how it is. You know, all the little plants are in there. God, I'm just kicking myself for breaking my crest there, but you know, it happens. Hopefully it'll send off another arm off of that, you know, that, well, I guess left-hand side. And then I put some water in the little water trough. Actually, I think, yeah, I filled up the well too. So, but that'll evaporate probably by tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. I'm finished. I'm going to leave it like this. And then if you're still watching, thank you, because I know this was a long and probably boring one. I'm still editing the beginning parts of this, and I might skip through a lot of what I was doing. We'll see, because I think it's already well over an hour, and I'm going to add another 3-4 minutes to it. So yeah, thanks for watching if you're still here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.